Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Orson Welles. It is my pleasure to introduce our director, Mr. GREGG OPPENHEIMER.
Welcome to Online Radio Theater. Tonight we're tackling some of Groucho's lesser-known radio work, including a lost Marx Brothers sketch that hasn't been heard since 1937. So let's get started.
Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Jack Benny.
Hello again. You know, when most people hear the name Groucho Marx, they think of his movies. But the truth is, Groucho did a lot of radio as well. It's funny, isn't it, how you can be on the radio for years and then you do a couple of pictures and people immediately start thinking of you as a movie star. All right, present company accepted. But the point I was trying to make is that Groucho did do quite a bit of radio. Look, why don't I let Groucho tell you about it himself?
Thank you, Jack, for that most unenlightening introduction. Now, where were we? Oh, yes, radio. The year was 1937, and movie theaters all over the country were showing our picture, Day at the Races. At the time, the Packard Motor Car Company was selling its automobiles by telling people to ask the man who owns one. I didn't know a man who owned one, so I didn't ask. But Packard asked me to be on its weekly radio program, Hollywood Mardi Gras, on the NBC Red Network. The call came from Packard's advertising agency, Young and Rubicon. Being young and foolish, I accepted.
Raymond Page has whirled us into the Hollywood Mardi Gras on the starlit roof. Thanks, Ray. Now for songs new and old, for aria, operetta, and even in the groove, we give you our troubadour, minnesinger, master singer, and minstrel, Lanny Ross.
Thank you. I'll bet Don doesn't even know what those words mean. But welcome everyone to what we hope is a swell hour of entertainment. And now, to welcome tonight's special guests, here's a man who needs no introduction.
And never gets one.
Charlie Butterworth.
Thank you, Lanny. And now I have a speech of welcome here for those two famous brothers. You've seen their faces on cough drops for years.
No, Charlie, that's the Smith brothers. Our special guests tonight are the Marx brothers. Surely you must have seen them in A Day at the Races.
I might have. What box were they sitting in?
Never mind, Charlie. I'll introduce them myself. Ladies and gentlemen, those two mad marksmen of the screen, Groucho and Chico. Welcome, Chico and Groucho, to our Hollywood Mardi Gras.
Oh yeah? Not so fast. What's a Mardi Gras?
Oh, you know, it's a big, noisy crowd of people, and they get together and throw things.
Not so loud. You give the audience ideas.
Which Marx brother are you?
I'm Groucho. Here's my card.
Thank you. It says Groucho Marx, businessman.
That's right.
But I can hardly read this. The word business is in such very small letters.
Well, I'm only doing a very small business.
Gentlemen, it is with a great deal of personal pleasure that I lay out for you the mat of welcome.
Say, Butterworth's got a funny face.
Oh, I don't think it's so funny. The last time I saw a head like that, it was in a bag of oats.
As I was saying, gentlemen, allow me to extend the hospitality of this program to you, whom I consider old friends of the theater.
Don't change the subject. Why you gotta suck a lemon during the program?
I'm not sucking a lemon.
Don't tell me your face is always like that.
Forget my face.
I never forget a face, Butterworth, but in your case, I'll make an exception.
And now, boys, how would you like to meet the other members of the cast?
In a dark alley with a club.
You know, my little welcome speech hasn't seemed to gel. Maybe I'd get a chance to talk if I was a Marx brother.
You mean, you want to be an actor?
Well, not exactly an actor, just one of the Marx brothers. I want the opportunity to talk and say all those very comical things.
Okay, I'll tell you what. You can be Harpo.
Thank you. Now that I'm Harpo, I think I'll chase a blonde. Whee!
Keep quiet. Harpo doesn't talk. He's a dumb.
Dumb? Oh, no. I've seen some of the blondes he chases.
Wait, I've got an idea. Butterworth, you be Chico. Chico, you be Butterworth. And you're both getting a dirty deal.
Okay, now I'm Chico. Oh, I nearly forgot. You'll need these, Butterworth.
What are you giving me this box of pills for?
Be sure and take one every other half hour. I have a very bad liver.
How's your liver during the other half hour?
Oh, pardon me, but which one of you is Mr. Butterworth? Charlie Butterworth, my ideal man.
I am. Quiet down. I'm a Charlie Butterworth.
You are? Oh, Mr. Butterworth, you're my dream man. I've heard you on the radio, and I just had to come here and give you a great big kiss.
I want myself back.
Go on, Chico. You made a profit on the deal. Go ahead and give him back to himself.
Okay. You're Butterworth again.
Thanks.
Pardon me, but which one of you gentlemen is Mr. Butterworth?
Well, there's been some question about that, but I think I am.
Then you're Mr. Butterworth?
That's right.
That woman you just kissed is my wife. Take this!
Ow! My eye!
Never mind the black eye, Charlie. Believe me, that kiss was worth it.
Say, boys, I've been Harpo and I've been Chico, but I haven't had any funny sayings. I think I'd like to be Groucho.
So, Charlie, you like to be in my shoes, eh?
Yes.
Then you'll have to see Chico. He's wearing them.
Go ahead, Groucho. Let him be you.
All right, Butterworth. From now on, you're Groucho Marx.
Fine. What do I do first?
Take one of these pills every half hour. He's got a bad liver, too.
Come in.
I'd like to speak to Charles Butterworth.
I'm Butterworth. What's wrong with your liver?
You remember the horse you bet $100 on this morning?
Yes.
Well, he came in first at 20 to 1. You won $2,000. Here.
Thanks.
Wait a minute. That money's mine.
Quiet. Butterworth spent all day worrying about this money. Now that he's got it, I'm going to keep it.
I want my $2,000.
Well, you can't have it. You're Groucho, remember? And I know from personal experience that giving money to Groucho never ends well.
But
I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll toss a quarter, and you call heads or tails. If you're right, you can have it.
Okay. Heads. It's heads. I get it.
Okay. Here's the quarter. Come on, Chico.
Gee, he's a lucky guy.
Hey, come back here. You can't do this.
By 1944, I had my own series called Blue Ribbon Town, sponsored by Pabst Beer. But I also appeared on a brand new show that Orson Welles was doing for Mobile Gas. Apparently, Welles had traded in his old sponsor, Campbell's Soup, for something that got more miles to the gallon.
This is Orson Welles. Just saying hello before the show starts. We hope this finds you well and leaves you better. This is your Radio Almanac, the first of a new series brought to you by Mobile Gas. An almanac, you remember, usually has at least a little bit of just about everything. And well, that's us. Mostly we want your almanac to be fun for you, real fun for all of you, wherever you are. This is January 26th, St. Polycarp's Day. There was a new moon yesterday morning at 8:33, and 156 years ago today, the British settled Australia. I mention these things because they belong in an almanac.
We interrupt this program, ladies and gentlemen, to bring an interruption.
Groucho Marx! Well, well, well. Groucho!
I'll thank you not to interrupt my interruptions, Welles. So, this is the new Orson Welles program, and you're the new Orson Welles. Well, you don't look new to me. In fact, if I ever saw a used Orson Welles, you're it.
Groucho, tell me, what are you doing here?
Your sponsor sent me over.
Oh, you know my sponsor?
Do I know your sponsor? He's over at my house every night drinking Pabst Blue Ribbon beer. I had to wait to the second page for that. How do you think you got hired?
Gee, I thought he didn't drink anything but Mobile Gas. Well, now that you're here, Groucho, perhaps you can help me with a problem. Where am I going to live out here in California?
Why don't you come and stay with me in Beverly Hills?
You're joking. What sort of a neighborhood is it?
Judge for yourself. On one side of me lives Betty Grable.
Who lives on the other side?
Who cares?
I take it you're fond of Betty Grable.
Well, I lean towards that type.
You do?
Yeah, I lean towards her, but Harry James keeps pushing me away. To get back to you, Orson, something I'm not crazy about. You'll love my place. All modern improvements, gas lighting, indoor mouse traps, and a pot-bellied stove in every room. That is, every room except mine. We couldn't get a pot-bellied stove for my room, so we hired Sidney Greenstreet to stand in the corner.
I don't know. Do you think I'd be comfortable there?
Why, you'd be as comfortable as a bug in a rug, and we've got some of those, too.
I'm afraid I couldn't impose, Groucho. You see, I left my ration book in New York.
So what if you haven't got a ration book? I'll take care of you. What's the best food in the world? Milk. Where does milk come from? Cows. What do cows eat? Grass. You can eat grass, too. And who knows? No, it's impossible. So you see, you'll be very happy at my place.
I'm sorry, Groucho. I'm afraid it's out of the question, especially if I couldn't get anything to eat.
Well, you can't have everything. Look at Solomon with 1,000 wives. You think he had everything? Well, maybe he did. My luck, I had to think of Solomon just then.
Well, suppose I did move in, Groucho. What would you charge me?
Money. You speak to me of filthy legal lettuce? Only a cad would take money from a friend.
I'm glad to hear you say that, Groucho. Shake hands with a friend.
Shake hands with a cad. Would, $500 a month be too much?
Oh, come now, Groucho. Money isn't everything. Can money bring you happiness?
No, but I like to have it around so I can choose the type of misery that's most agreeable to me.
So, Groucho, I understand you're a producer now.
Certainly. Shall I, draw up your movie contract?
Oh, you're a lawyer, too?
Yes, and you'll have a contract as soon as we can get a hold of another lawyer.
If you're a lawyer, Groucho, why don't you handle it yourself?
I don't fool around with shysters. Now, the first thing we do is to give you a big publicity build-up. Monday, you get lost in the desert. Tuesday, we send Hedy Lamarr out to look for you. Wednesday, I go out to look for Hedy Lamarr. And Saturday...
Wait a minute. What happened to Thursday and Friday?
I found Hedy Lamarr. And don't interrupt. Can't you see we want to be alone? All right, Orson, here's your contract. The party of the first part, hereinafter referred to as Orson Welles, agrees to appear in 7 pictures in the first year, 12 pictures in the second year, and 18 pictures the third year. Wells, you're fired.
Fired? What for?
You're making too many pictures. The public is sick of you. Give me my cloak. I'm getting out of here. Goodbye, everybody. The following year, I was invited to appear on Bird's Eye Open House. I initially refused, but then the sponsor plied me with a generous 24-carat gift. The peas and corn weren't bad either. It's no use, Nice. I've got to do it.
All is in readiness, Doctor.
Good. Scalpel.
Scalpel.
Scissor.
Scissor.
Suture.
Suture.
Needle.
Needle.
Nice. You better turn around while I finish this. There.
Finished, Doctor?
Yes, and I bet this button will never come off my underwear again.
Oh, Doctor, was that plastic operation you performed yesterday a success?
A success. That operation I performed on Mr. Owens will make medical history. What I did was remove his mouth and put it to the top of his head.
You moved his mouth to the top of his head?
Yes.
What good is that?
It's sensational. Now he gets up in the morning, pours some oatmeal into his hat, puts his hat on his head, and eats his breakfast on the way to the office. Oh, in time. In time.
Yes, Doctor, did you send for me?
Yes, in time. What's all that commotion in Mrs. Blodgett's room?
Haven't you heard, Doctor? It's a boy.
Well, what does he want?
But it's her son.
I don't care who he is. I left orders for that woman to have no visitors. Throw him out.
But, Doctor, he can't walk.
Well, sober him up and get him out of here.
But I...
Never mind. Forget it. Tell me, did you look at the man in 203?
Oh, yes, Doctor. He wants to know if you'll give him something for his stomach.
Tell him I'll give him $1.65 and a bridge lamp. Nice. Get the charts. It's time to make the rounds.
Very well, Doctor. We'll start with Ward C. This way.
Right.
Doctor, this is Mr. Swick.
Oh, Doctor, do you think I'll live?
Yes, but I wouldn't advise it. Next patient. Nice. While we're alone, have we ever stopped to think that under this surgeon's robe of mine, that beats the heart of a man? That reminds me, it's 3:30. I better return it to him. But really nice. Have you ever thought of me as a human being?
Frankly, no.
Let me kiss your hand. Let me take you away from all of this. Look how red your hands are.
My hands aren't red. I'm wearing rubber gloves.
No wonder your little finger tasted like a retread. Hello? Yes, madam. The operation starts promptly at 7. The tonsils come out at 7:15. The adenoids come out at 7:20. The appendix comes out at 7:30. And the newsreel goes on at 7:45.
Here are the instruments, Doctor. They're all sterilized.
Are you sure they're thoroughly sterilized?
Yes, Doctor. Where shall I put them?
Just throw them on the floor. I'll pick them up as I need them. It thrills me to think that I, Dr. Hackenbush, am about to perform an operation in this spotless, modern operating room with these fine, shiny surgical instruments. Nice. If I had to do it all over again, there's only one thing I'd do differently.
What's that, Doctor?
I'd go to medical school.
So this is Dr. Hackenbush, the famous medico. You're welcome, Dr. Hackenbush.
If that's the case, I'll go.
Oh, no, you mustn't go.
Who said I mustn't go? The only reason that I came was so that I can go.
I'm sure that they'd all like to hear some facts about your great career.
Although my horn I hate to blow, there's one thing that you are to know. I'm Dr. Hackenbush, as all my friends will verify. Well, anyway, ladies and gentlemen, I am Dr. Hackenbush. I'm Dr. Hackenbush.
He's Dr. Hackenbush.
You never would guess, but nevertheless, I'm Dr. Hackenbush. For ailments abdominal, my charges are nominal. Though I'm great for, I've a rate for tonsillectomy. Sick and healthy, poor and wealthy, come direct to me. Oh, God bless you, they yell, when I send them home well. But they never, no, they never send a check to me. I've won a claim for curing ills, both in the north and south. You'll find my name just like my pills in everybody's mouth. I've never lost a case.
He's never lost a case.
I've lost a lot of patients, but I've never lost a case. When your nerves start to rot, put your faith in your doc. When you're sick, he will stick to the end. With the possible exception of your mother, a doctor's a man's best friend.
Yes, a doctor's a man's best friend.
A doctor's a man's best friend. Whoa, ho! A doctor's a man's best friend. A doctor is a man's best friend. Right or wrong, wrong or right, night and day, day and night. On his call you can always depend. With the possible exception of your mother and your father and your sisters and your brothers and your nephews and your nieces and your uncles and your cousins, whom you number by the dozens. A doctor's a man's best friend. Yo!
Tonight's program starred Frank Ferrante as Groucho Marx, Ivan Curry as Lanny Ross and the Intern, Ed French as Orson Welles and the Jealous Husband, Brian Hendrickson as Chico and the Patient, Phil Proctor as Charlie Butterworth, Devon SORVARI as the Charlie Butterworth fan and the nurse, and Brad ZINN as Jack Benny and the man who gives Groucho $2,000. Groucho on the Radio was produced and directed by GREGG Oppenheimer for SPERDVAC, the Society to Protect and Encourage Radio Drama, Variety, and Comedy. And this is John Jensen speaking for Online Radio Theater saying, so long, till next time.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Smile.
Why on earth would we go backwards when we were going to go on 5? Why would we start on 5?
I was trying to see what would happen. Okay.
Okay.
Ready? 1. You want to do it again?